2 weeks ago, we saw a bounce off the 200-day moving average in oil from this little level here, okay? And it actually just over exceeded the low by a minuscule amount, 74.24, and your average was just below that. But it really did make a significant bounce last week. So all technical indicators on the weekly charts are neutral for oil. But there is a pattern evolving, and that is looking, I think, quite bullish for oil. So if I take a look at the daily chart with you, you can see here that oil's making quite a good little bullish flag. So you've had a move up. Even though we closed twice below the 200-day moving average, the weekly moving average was the one that saw longer term investors, buyers come in and buy the oil market. If you look at this, you've got a sequence of lower highs and lower lows. This is quite a bullish pattern, not overcooked on the top side at all. In fact, it's barely neutral. So there is room for the market to move higher. If you look at these daily averages, you're looking at the 9 and the 55, and they're both coming at an around 80.43 to 80.54. That should be your downside for this week. I think oil's going to go higher. I can see no reason why oil can't go to at least this level, which is at 86, 87, and even beyond. One of the things that traders miss when trading oil is looking at what dollar CAD is doing. So we're going to take a look at the dollar CAD because it really is pertinent to oil. I mean, CAD and oil sort of go together. So let's take a look at the dollar CAD chart. Now you can see here on the daily chart that dollar CAD is actually approaching quite a good level. You've got the 200-day moving average coming in at 138.52. You've got the S2 coming in at 138.19, and that is tying in with our weekly moving averages. So that will be extremely important. Yes, we're overcooked on the downside on dollar CAD, but you know, markets, if they're trending, do reach extreme overbought, oversold levels. If you see a bounce, which normally should occur around that 200-day moving average, if you see a bounce, I think it's going to be short-lived and the price of dollar CAD is going to go lower. But let's take a look at it on the weekly chart. Again, approaching oversold, but not yet. At the moment, it's being held up by the 55 weekly period of 138.61. I would expect that to be blitzed and taken out. And I would be looking, as I said, for that 138.5, 138.19 area initially. However, look at the 200-week period moving average. That is coming in at 137.34. I'm not even sure whether or not this is going to hold longer term, because this is quite a long-term chart. But you can see that dollar CAD really doesn't seem to want to go any higher from this point. Let's see how it plays out this week. But please, if you're trading oil, you need to look at this dollar CAD. It's just another bow in your arsenal, really, of where markets are going to go, what correlates with what market, and it will enable you to be able to trade this much more efficiently by looking at the relationship between oil and dollar CAD. Everybody, you know, as oil goes up, CAD goes up, so sells off dollars. Look at this 200-day moving average. Keep your eye on it this week. But for me, these two are very closely interlinked, and I've found this all throughout my career. So please have a look at both of these charts, because if you only look at one, you're missing what the other one can tell you. My name is Carol Harmer from Charmer Trading. Have a great week.